Hello, my name is Dinda.
And my name is Zelda.
We are here to tell you 10 things you should know about Undip.
What are they?
First, Undip or Universitas Diponegoro is located in Semarang, Central Java, Indonesia. You can reach Undip 1 hour flight from the capital city, 1.5 hours flight from Bali, or 2 hours by car from Borobudur.
Besides that, Semarang also has many tourist attractions, such as Kota Lama Heritage, Gedung Songo Temple, and many more.
Second, the name of Universitas Diponegoro was given by the first president of Indonesia, Insinyur Soekarno. He gave this name as a tribute to the university's performance in development of higher education in Central Java. Amazing, right?
Third, Undip is a home for thousands of students and faculty staff from all over Indonesia and overseas. 40 airplanes, spacious.
Undip is also a home for deers and a big cow statue. Fourth, Undip also has 11 faculties, 2 schools, and 169 study programs, which consists of 53 bachelor degree, 39 masters, 16 doctorates, 24 specialists, and 37 diploma.
The fifth thing really makes us proud. Undip has a long list of reputation nationally and internationally. Undip is listed in 2 major international system rankings. Such as P.J.S.C and T.H.E for World, Asia, and ranking by subject.
Undip is also ranked second in Indonesia based on Green Metric ranking system. The ranking that measures the performance of green and sustainable campus. Besides that, Undip is also included in 100 to 200 in the world, based on the T.H.E Impact Ranking. Which is analyzed based on the performance of university against the United Nations of Sustainable Development Goals.
The sixth thing is, you will get so many benefits if you study here. What are they?
You will get access to this university dormitory, Rusunawa Home, for more than 1,000 students, green building campuses, library, high-tech laboratory, or UPT dan Bloomberg Studio, or even living laboratory, FPD, sport facilities, hospital, and many other facilities in walking distance. Everything is in here. Undip also has a twin building, not this building Petronas, but more like this building, ICT Center. And here, we can also find Golden Gate Bridge. But in the super tiny form and installed in the arch style. It's called Sikatan and Sicebom. And we also have the miniature of Lake Kariba, which called Diponegoro Reservoir. Seventh, Undip has a commercial professional radio channel under the name Pro Alma. You can also listen to Pro Alma through streaming Pro Alma YouTube channel. 8. Undip has 6 campus locations in 6 different cities. They are located in Semarang, Rembang, Pekalongan, Demak, Batang, and Jepara. Wow! 9th, Undip use some of renewable energy sources, including solar panels, chillers, and clean biomass or biogas, as well as hydropower. The last thing you should know is that Undip also manage 1 hectare campus forest inside the main campus. And 100 hectare campus forest outside for research and management in the forestry. Biological resources and environment sectors. So, what are you waiting for? Join us now here at Universitas Diponegoro. Conducting research for humanity.
In 1985, for the first time, we accepted new students from diploma to bachelor degree under the name of the Public Health Study Program, Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Diponegoro. In 1987, the Public Health Study Program began admitting students for the regular program for the first time. In 1993, the Public Health Study Program changed to the Faculty of Public Health based on the decree of the Minister of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, number 0369/0/1993, dated 21st November 1993. Faculty of Public Health Vision. In the year of 2024, Faculty of Public Health becomes an excellent higher education institution in the field of public health in the international level. Faculty of Public Health are concerned in achieving the following objectives: to obtain graduates who have the spirit of Pancasila, competent, have social awareness, and have the Undip's graduate profile that are complete and miracle. Complete: communicator, professional, leader, entrepreneur, thinker, educator. And miracle: manager, innovator, researcher, apprentice, communitarian, leader, and educator. To obtain innovative research and beneficial products to solve public health problems and to achieve world-class university. To obtain publications in reputable national and international journals, attainments in intellectual property rights that beneficial to the development of public health to support world-class university. To contribute in the public health problems solving in regional, national, and international level. To organize transparent and accountable public health higher education in accordance with applicable regulation supported by technology advances. To organize cooperation and partnership in education, research, publication, product innovation, and community services in public health aspects with public and private institutions in national and international level. The organizational structure in Faculty of Public Health. Faculty leaders: the Dean, the Vice Dean for Academic and Student Affairs, the Vice Dean for Resources. The study programs in Faculty of Public Health are Bachelor in Public Health, accredited as Excellent, Master in Public Health, accredited as Excellent, Master in Environmental Health, accredited as Excellent, Master in Health Promotion, accredited as Excellent, Doctor in Public Health, accredited as Excellent. The implementation of the education program in the Faculty of Public Health is supported by lecturers from reputable universities. Currently, the faculty has 34 lecturers with doctoral degrees of 66 lecturers with various scientific fields. They are Health Policy and Administration, Public Health Nutrition, Epidemiology and Tropical Diseases, Occupational Safety and Health, Environmental Health, Biostatistic and Population, and Health Promotion and Behavioral Sciences. In the learning process, the Faculty of Public Health is supported by education staff from various backgrounds, competencies, and professionalism. The buildings in Faculty of Public Health are Building A, the Dean Building with 2 stories. Building B, classrooms with 3 stories. Building C, lecturers' room with 2 stories and meeting rooms. Building D, secretariat room of graduate study programs, classrooms for graduate programs, computer laboratory, public health laboratory, unit room of faculty supports, and hall. Building E, Students' Activities Room. Building F, Student Activity Center, Praying Room, and Canteen. Building G, Secretariat Room of Undergraduate Study Programs, Library, Archive Rooms, and Student Activities Rooms. and also other facilities such as canteen, futsal field, basketball field, volleyball field, and other sport facilities. To support student learning process, the Faculty of Public Health has 6 laboratories: Basic Biomedicine Laboratory, Environmental Health Laboratory, Occupational Safety and Health Laboratory, Epidemiology and Entomology Laboratory, Public Health Nutrition Laboratory, and Audio-Visual Aids Laboratory. The Faculty of Public Health has accepted international students since 2016 for degree and non-degree programs in order to support Universitas Diponegoro to be the world-class university. The non-degree programs such as summer course program, internship program, joint research, and community services are followed by students from many countries such as Taiwan, Netherlands, Australia, Germany, China, Pakistan, Sudan, Libya, USA, Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Nigeria, and many more. Other international programs to support world-class university are visiting professors from overseas universities, International Conference on Public Health for Tropical and Coastal Development, staff exchange, lecture joint research between universities and with international NGOs. Student activities, internship, partnership with villages related to maternal health, field study practices, outbound, community services, student units activities, Research Center of Faculty of Public Health, Research Center of Environment and Toxic Material, Research Center of Neglected Tropical Diseases, Research Center of Reproductive Health and HIV/AIDS, Research Center of Public Health Nutrition, Research Center of Health Policy.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Wow, there are so many participants who look excited for today's event. Okay, let's take a look on the number of participants joining us on Zoom today. Wow, it seems like many participants have joined us today, but we're still waiting for the others to join us as well. Anyway, the committee will provide you with an attendance link in the chat box. So while waiting for the other participants to join us, you may fill in the link. I will wait for maybe 5 minutes. Okay, while waiting for the online participants to fill in the link, I would like to inform that there will be a lot of prizes for the best participants. So don't forget to be active. All right, before we start the session, first I would like to introduce myself. Hello everyone, I'm Karencia Glory and I will be your Master of Ceremony today. I'm very grateful and happy to get this chance to accompany the participants through this event. And welcome to the Visiting Professor 2023 bed bug and its implication of public health. All right, before we go any further, let's pray together. Prayer, begin. Prayer, end. Before we start our session, I would like to invite everyone to sing the national anthem of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya. To the committee, please play the song.
Indonesia tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahmu. Di sanalah aku berdiri, jadi pandu ibumu. Indonesia kebangsaanku, bangsa dan tanah airku. Marilah kita bersatu, Indonesia bersatu. Hiduplah tanahku, hiduplah negeriku, bangsaku, rakyatku semuanya. Bangunlah jiwanya, bangunlah badannya, untuk Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
Okay, next, let's greet our amazing people that here with us today. The Honorable Head of Epidemiology and Tropical Disease Department, Dr. Martini B.S.C. M.Ph., the Honorable Vice Deans and all academic staff of Public Health Faculty, Universitas Diponegoro, the honorable speakers today, Associate Professor Abdul Hafiz A.B. Majid, P.J.S.C. Ph.D., B.Ce. P.Tech, MAHPC ENT, and all of our dearest participants of this event. All right, to begin the session, we will hear a brief speech from the Head of Epidemiology and Tropical Disease Department, Dr. Martini B.S.C. M.Ph., for giving us an opening speech and also to officially open this event. So Dr. Martini, the time is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, about the technique problem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Abdul Public Health Faculty, and then the Honorable our guest lecturer today, Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Hafiz. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Yeah, and then there is a moderator today, Nissa, Kusariana, the rest of the lecture of Public Health Faculty that already joined in this meeting, and also all the participants today. Yeah, this is very nice participant because not only my student but also the others. Yeah, in the case like our partners in private sector and also in the government sector. Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, for all the audience, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, first of all, let us give utmost gratitude toward God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Almighty for His love and blessings, so that we can meet by Zoom in this on the meeting. It's a wonderful opportunity. I'm a Dr. Martini and also head Department of Epidemiology Tropical Disease of Public Health Faculty. I represent Dean. He informed that he has an agenda of our university, so he cannot join this meeting, and apologies of him. Yeah, to the speaker and also for the audience. And he sent the greetings to Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Hafiz and all participants in this event. The topic of this meeting about big bug and implication of public health, especially in Indonesia. I think also the problem, yeah, we can see the information through the internet that yeah, the Europe, especially Paris and then Singapore, informed that they have a problem with that drug. So this event, I think, is yeah, it is a great meeting to discuss about that, and we have the expertise today, Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Hafiz, that related with this topic. Yeah, I hope all of the participants can discuss. Yeah, and also ask him many questions. Yeah, because yeah, this is opportunity we can meet the experts today. Yeah, it is, and then I feel great a pleasure today to welcome you all of the scientific, to you all of the participants, the guest lecturer, and also our partner, and also the student. Yeah, and the last of my speech, I think I should thank you for Associate Professor Abdul Hafiz for your time and also giving us the knowledge, the scientific information about Big Bang that we still are curious about this insect. Yeah, and also I thank to the committee that already organized this great event. Because the dean not join in this meeting, so I want to open this great event, and all of you say Basmalah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, that's all my speech, and I hope this event get a many beneficial to us. Yeah, good luck. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Back to the MC.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Martini, for the speech. And now we are going to have a photo session, so you may prepare to open your camera. Maybe I'll wait for 3 minutes to prepare. Okay, I've seen a lot of participants have already opened cameras to join us in this photo session, and I would to inform to hold on until the end of slides to get a full documentation. For the committee in response, please take a screenshot of us. Okay, I'll start from first slide and I'll count in 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide. 1, 2, 3. All right, next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. Prior to beginning the main agenda, in the next session, we will be accompanied by our best moderator, who is also one of our lecturers. Before we ask her to get on the screen, let's take a look at her CV. All right. So, Mrs. Nissa Kusariana, B.S.Ph. M.Si, is a lecturer in the Department of Epidemiology and Tropical Disease, Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Diponegoro. She graduated from Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Diponegoro for bachelor degree and graduated from Parasitology and Medical Entomology, Bogor Agricultural University for master degree. From her CV, we can see that she's well expertised in the medical entomology and epidemiology, and she has done many research and publications, including her recent one in 2021 about nocturnal activity of Aedes aespi in the filariasis endemic area in Central Java. Without any further ado, let's welcome the moderator, Mrs. Nissa. Hello, good morning, Mrs. Nissa. How are you?
Karen, I'm good. How about you, Karen? Are you good too?
Okay, I'm good as well. Okay, are you ready for the session today? Because I can feel the excitement of the participants today, Miss.
Yeah, I'm very ready for the bed bug session today. Okay, Karen, can I start?
Okay, so if you're ready, you may begin now.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all in a good health. And today I'm Nissa Kusariana as a moderator for the visiting professor with the title Bedbug and its implication of public health. As we know that bedbug is one of the insects that they have a correlation with public health, especially it's in a village district we can found, or the like the dormitory we can found it the bed bug. So today we have a great speakers about the bed bug and the implication, especially in health and the human life. We have Dr. Abdul Hafiz as the speaker today, but before we meet him, I will read the CV of the moderators today. Wait. Okay. We have Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Hafiz Abdul Majid. He is from the School of Biological Science of University Sains Malaysia or USM as a household and structural urban entomology laboratory. As we know, he has a lot of research and publication about urban entomology. such as a lot of factor and the academic and professional qualification. He was graduate from the Doctor of Philosophy of Ph.D. in Urban and Molecular Entomology, University of Nebraska, Lincoln. And then he has a lot of work experience, like a research assistant, and then as in a laboratory in field trial experiment, and then he is a senior lecturer, and we can see that he has a lot of research and publications in 2000 and in the last 3 years. In 2021, he has a research about characterization of bacterial communities associated with blackfeet and starved tropical bedbugs, Hemipterus. And then in 2022, the bacterial communities of pig-headed ants, Phaidorugaticeps, and American cockroach reveals pathogens and public health importance. And then the 20 and 23, he has the breeding patterns and population genetic structure of Comoptermus castroi as a Batode population in natural woodland habitat. And he has a lot of academic awards, and then he active as a keynote speaker in a lot of seminar or maybe international workshop. And before, and then we will meet our speakers today. Good morning, Dr. Hafiz.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Okay. Today we have a lot of participants that maybe we will learn more about the bed bug, Prof.
Yep.
I hope today we can get a lot of great discussion about bed bug, especially in public health. So, Prof, you may start your presentation, and then the end of session we can discussion to the participant question, and we can choose the 3 most participant that can get a door prize. So, Dr. Hafiz, you can start your presentation now.
Thank you, Ms. Nissa and the University of Diponegoro for the invitation. Let me share my slide. Okay, let me share. Okay, all of you can see my big screen?
Yeah, it's
all right. Can you see a big screen or a small screen? It's a big screen. All right, okay.
It's a big screen.
Okay, let me start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning. Especially, I would like to thank Universitas Diponegoro for this visiting professor program and the invitation to talk about bed bugs. I will share a few important information about bed bugs, its behavior, its ecology, some of update information on the bed bug status, and then also some management strategy and what can be done in the future. Actually, currently we heard a lot of bed bug resurgence, increase of cases, especially worldwide. We heard about the recent cases or rises of bed bug infestation in Europe, especially in Paris, France. And we're going to look how this bed bugs is an important insects in public health. Thank you, Ms. Nissa, for the introduction. I'm an associate professor in entomology. Currently, I'm working in the University Sains Malaysia under the School of Biological Sciences. My field more specifically on urban and molecular entomology. And bedbug actually fall under the scope of urban and also medical important insects. So it fall under the both category. So before we know the insects, let's have a little introduction about bedbug in general. So bedbug, regardless of species, they feed on blood. So basically, either it's a nymph, early stage of the nymph, or even an adult, they need the blood for their life cycle, especially for breeding. And they prefer a human host. And important thing about this bedbug, they are bad traveler. They only can travel within 5 to 20 feet. So that's why when you see a bedbug infestation, it will not travel far within that room, but you can find this bedbug spread throughout the apartment, throughout other rooms because of the hitchhiking. So people sitting on one particular area, and that's bedbug infestation. So they cling on your clothes, and when you move around, you will accidentally bring this bedbug into another room or to a different places. And also it's difficult to eradicate because even though bedbug, they depend on blood for survival, but they can still stay alive for almost 6 months until up to a year without any blood meal. So that means imagine without any blood meal, they can still stay alive 6 months to 1 year. And that's why it's quite hard to eradicate. And also it's nocturnal. So that's why bedbug, they prefer to feed during nighttime because during nighttime, the release of carbon dioxide from human, because when we sleep, especially during our deep sleep, for example, around 12 midnight to 3 a.m., this is the active time for the bedbug for host seeking, because during this time, we release a lot of carbon dioxide, and this is kind of like attraction for the bedbug to feed on you if there are bedbug in your room. And then also, in general, bedbugs was known as a old world pest. In 1950s, during World War I, and also during the World War II, there's a lot of bedbug cases. But if you remember, for those work in entomology or in environmental entomology, there's a time when people use a lot of DDT, where they claim that this DDT can kill all type of pests, including bedbugs, mosquito, and many more. So during this time when broad use of this DDT, this bedbug also killed. But after few years, if you remember the in recent years, in 1990s and year 2000, there's a bedbug cases coming up to increase because of the resistance issue. So now it's coming back. It was like an old pest during World War II. There's a lot of bedbug cases, and it was eradicated along with most of the insects. They say that DDT can kill a lot of insects, but at the same time, it create insecticide resistance, kerintangan terhadap racun. And then also importantly is that it's not a vector. It feed blood meal, same as a mosquito. They need the blood for reproduction. But in bedbug, they are not a vector. They cannot transmit a disease. For example, if this bedbug have many disease, for example, hepatitis B in their blood, but they cannot transmit. We'll talk this later in my next few slides. So bedbug, in general, they are under the order of Hemiptera, family Simidae, and they mainly feed on human blood 37 Celsius. Bedbug is known as a tricky feeder. If you have a fever, for example, fever around above 37.5 Celsius, for example, you have high fever 38, 39, the bedbug will not feed on you. If you're dead, I mean that you are cold below 37, that means that you are not alive. Also, bedbug will not feed. They preferably feed on the regular human temperature. So that's why if you're sick, they will not feed on you. They are very tedious at 37 Celsius. We did this experimental in a lab. It showed that when we increase the temperature pole up to 38, it will not feed the blood. It will feed around 37, 37.5, up to 37.8. When it reaches 38, 39, it will not feed. So that means if you have a fever, the bedbug will not feed on you. So the most common bedbug group are Cimex lutularius. This is common bedbug that found on the temperate region. We have also Cimex hemipterus, tropical bedbug. The one in Southeast Asia currently are C.max hemipterus. I haven't heard any cases about common bedbug infested in Southeast Asia, especially in Malaysia or in Singapore or Indonesia. But there are cases that been spotted somewhere in Southern Asia. They are C.max lutorius, but there are few cases, but the common in this tropical region is C.max hemipterus. Whereas the C.max lutorius, they are known to be found in the temperate region, more colder region. In the tropical region like Malaysia, Indonesia, tropical bedbugs, C.max hemipterus are the common species. And so far in Malaysia, up to 2020, from our data recorded, only C.max hemipterus that were found in Malaysia. I don't have a data from Indonesia, but there's one paper that been published in Indonesia. Also, ID the bedbug that I found was C.max hemipterus, the tropical bedbug. Another group is known as bedbug. This is Leptocymex buti. This one feed on bats. So the difference between the common and tropical bedbugs is at their pronotum part. So if it's more moderate excavated, it's known as tropical bedbug. So that's why it's very important to ID the morphological, especially at this pronotum part, at the head part, to look carefully. So if it's moderate excavated, so it's known as C.max hemipterus. But if it's deeply excavated, like the picture above here, this is the real picture that we took in my lab, it's known as the C.max hemipterus. That means that if it's a common bedbug, the pronotum with anterior margin is deeply excavated compared to the tropical bedbug. And if you look here, the bedbug, as I mentioned in introduction, they like to live in the cluster. They are not social insects, different, but the way they hide and after they have a blood meal, they will rest in the cluster, in the harborage. So that means if you look here, in this is from our collection in our laboratory. We have a group of bedbugs and we can see the white speckles. So some people, when they found this white speckle, they thought they have a dandruff. It looked like a hair dandruff. For those who have a heavy dandruff, the white speckle, the bedbug eggs also look almost similar. It's very small. And the female may lay eggs 200 to 500 eggs in the lifetime. And one important characteristics of a tropical, the bedbug in general, common and tropical bedbug, they known as a chromatic insemination. Later we'll look on this thing. So life cycle, so important. When you're managing a bedbug, any stages of bedbug after eggs, either it's during the first stage larvae or nymph, and until adult, at the adult stage, they will feed on blood. So that's why some other blood feeding insects, they only feed blood when they are adult. But bedbug, they feed throughout their life cycle to get a bigger size and also actually for reproduction. So it takes about less than 2 weeks to become the first stage larvae, depend on the condition. But throughout their life cycle to become complete adult, it took about around 2 months to become adult stages. This is in a regular basis when they have a regular blood meal in the current environmental condition, because you know the life cycle also depend on the temperature in the surrounding and so on. And this bedbug, if it's in adult stage, they can live up to 1 year, 6 months to 1 year without feeding. So that means when they have no feeding at all, their body will be so flattened. So that means that if you found any stage of bedbug, it is a must to get rid of it or to control. Don't need to wait until it become adult, because during the 4th and 5th instar, you will have more bedbugs at that particular stages. So if you look, this is some data about bedbug infestation distribution. This is in year 2015, published from Zorella et al. 2015. So you can see here, the one in red color, this is where the common bedbug, the C.max lutorius, was found. Even in Europe, like France here, during that time, most of the infestation are the common bedbug. But now I would like to share this current scenario in 2023, the cases that bedbug just resurgence in Europe, especially in Paris and France, they found tropical bedbug, not a common bedbug. I will share this later, some of the issue. So that means that it was known to be the area to have a common bedbug, but now the tropical bedbug rises. The common bedbug going down, but the tropical bedbug rises. One of my hypotheses is due to the climate changes, where the tropical bedbug, they are found in more tropical region, more hotter, they can adapt or they can have immune with the high temperature or even in harsh environment so that it can survive in any condition and so on. And also the movement of people from a tropical country to temperate country, and now people travel easily. So this is early data in 2015 where you can see that the common bedbug was found more on the temperate region. But if you look the green circle, this is where the CMAX address was found. So the green, even in Malaysia, in Indonesia, we have lack of data. I only found one publication from Indonesia about bedbug. So far, that was published in 2000, before COVID, 2019 or 2018, I couldn't remember, but it's not the Scopus or Indexes journal, but I found it from the local journal. There's not much, only that one particular one literature that I found. So if you look the green spot, this is where the tropical bedbug found. But there is some region, for example, like Australia, where the tropical and common bedbug also found in that region. Even in China, also we found there are both species found in that particular area and so on. So this is data in 2021, in 2022. So now you can see the changes where this CMAX, for example, if you look here in this, this is Trends in Parasitology that been published a year ago, in October a year ago. So you can see that where CMAX lutaris, the common bedbug, and CMAX was pre-resurgence. And then after that, you can see that there's overlapping and also changes where only, usually they only found a common bedbug. Now we found a lot of tropical bedbug. Even some cases in Europe, there are some overlapping from common to tropical bedbug. So this is a scenario where a study can be done to see how this happened. Is it due to climate changes? This is one of my hypotheses, where the C-maximus can be more adapted to more harsh environment, and also people are moving around. So we can see that a new record have been found in here. This is until up to year 2020, when this paper is published in 2022. And also this is a publication that been published by, this is from my laboratory, published from work done by my PhD student from Iraq, Mr. Hussein. I think he's in the audience here. So it's just in, this is a galley proof. It will be published in the full format later this month or early next year. So basically, even in Iraq, I just want to share 10 years ago data, a paper that we refer in Iraq, 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, but it's more than 10 years ago. It's indicate that the bedbug infestation in Iraq was common bedbug. But when one of my PhD student, Mr. Hussein, went and sampling throughout 5 to 8 major cities governed in Iraq, when we do a molecular identification using a cytochrome oxys 1 and 16S, we found that it's not a common bedbug, it's a tropical bedbug. So Iraq, known as a temperate country, not a tropical country. Correct me if wrong. It's a temperate country. It's much more colder compared to Malaysia and even in Indonesia. But when we do a molecular ID and molecular ID, all of this sample that we collected in this red spot in this region are now known to be tropical bedbug. But there's only 2 publications from Iraq we found, but it was indicated as a common bedbug, not a tropical bedbug. So either there's a misidentification during that time, or there's a changes. So this sampling was done during the COVID time, during 2019 and 2020. So it's quite recent. So you can see that the dynamic change of this bedbug from tropical bedbug to replacing the area where they are common bedbug. And one of the other factors is also due to travelers, people moving around, people going for vacation, and also migrant workers, and many more. So if you look here, just to share bedbug, we also rear a bedbug using a artificial feeding device, but now we prefer direct feeding because we have a human ethics for this, because this kind of feeding, when we rear in lab, we use artificial feeding. We have artificial feeding device, as you look in this right picture on my right side here. So we have these 2 devices, it's a glass, and we have a hot water. And this hot water, we need to make sure it's around 37.5, 37.6, no more than 38 during that area, because as I mentioned earlier, they are fussy feeder. They feed on healthy temperature human. So if you are sick, too hot, it will not feed. on you. So we use expired blood. For example, if you donate, for those who like to donate blood, right? What I'm being told is that after 2 months, after nobody use your donated blood, they will discard. So the one that discard, we took it, and then we use it for next 2 months, and after that we throw away, because if you don't use after 2 months of that, the blood will get coagulated, so it's no longer in fresh form. So we use that again, reheat the blood, and we have this device and this parafilm. And this parafilm also we need to put against human skin, because we need to get the human odor on that parafilm, so that lead the bed bug to feed. So this is the video on the feeding. Hopefully you can see. So you can see that the body for this neem that was splattered, now when it's full, it gets engorged. And also the right picture here, before and after feeding. You can see that some of the bed bug that we write in the labs now getting engorged. Describe the background song. During this time, I think my student was enjoying the K-pop song. So you can see that they like to be aggregated together.
Tangan menggeletar. Tangan menggeletar.
So you can see that the blood from when they eat, and then you can see the body getting red. So this is artificial feeding that we do in the lab, but now we prefer more on the direct feeding. There's a reason for it, for another discussion. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So medical importance or the public health importance of bed bugs. So in current study and a previous study done by Goddard and also by myself, there's a lot of bacteria, a lot of pathogen that was carried out and also transmitted, not transmitted, it was in the gut, in the blood of the bed bug when they feed. We found a lot. So for example, if the bed bug feeds somebody with HIV, hepatitis, or bacteria, and even any type of pathogen, when you isolated the blood out from the bed bug, there's a lot of pathogen. But when they bite another person, it will not transmit. And that's a model where you can study. Currently, we are doing that in the laboratory to study why bed bug is a failed vector, even though they can carry all these pathogen, this disease, and also all these bacteria, but they cannot transmit. So there's more than 28 human pathogens, but there are no study proven that it can transmit any human disease. But the only issue with this public health issue or the medical important issue is that the sensitivity depend on individual immune. Like for myself, if I've been, later next slide, there a picture of it. If I've been feed on myself, after 3 days, then I will start to feel itchy. And when you start to scratch, then you have a secondary infection due to scratching. So this is, we did some extraction. We found a lot of bacteria in bed bug blood, in bed bug external body, and also in the legs and so on. There's a lot of bacteria actually, but it cannot transmit to human. So this is work that I done in Japan, and to see what kind of bacteria pathogen that inside the bed bug. So again, one of the important characteristics of the public health or medical important is that the sensitivity to the bite. So there's 5 stages. There are individuals without no reaction. I have that in my lab, one of my students. We have the human ethics for direct feeding. He have no reaction. So that means that when you feed the bed bug, after it's full, the bed bug will just go away, run away, and then after that, there are no sign of bites. There are delay reaction. For example, you are sleeping in a hotel and that hotel have bed bug. But when you come back home after a few days, suddenly you found there's a red mark, itchy. That means that the reaction not immediate after you come back. So you cannot say that there are bed bug infestation in your home. You might been bitten earlier somewhere during your traveling. Some are both immediate and delay, and some immediate. Some student, my student, or even some people, when they get bitten, it just have a sensitive skin. It start to scratch. Depend on individual. So again, it become red, well, itchy, and so on. And then secondary bacterial infection, because when you start to scratch, then you can get secondary infection due to the scratching. And then for those who have anemia, Asthma also, that's a concern also, because if there's a lot of bed bug actually in the cluttering area, highly infestation, they also secondary effect. Some of you, when you there's a heavy infestation, you couldn't get a good night's sleep. You've been bitten, you're scratching and get anxiety and agitation. So this is some example. So this is we did some study, sensitive to bite. Some this is we did a few study about different of type of human blood and sensitivity. For example, like blood type A, we don't have enough replicate, but we did publish as a short notes. There are no reaction, 3 hours, there's no reaction. But some people, they have a delayed reaction up to 1 month, up to 7 days, and even after 3 weeks there are still a reaction. This is some example picture when there's an immediate bite reaction. Some of you, when you have been bitten by bed bug, might have a bigger reaction, allergy reaction. I have a PhD student, Dr. Siti Norain, because when she did a bed bug research opportunity on bed bug in Malaysia, we have a person in the lab who fit, but during that time she have appendixes, so she cannot be in a lab for 1 month after the appendixes, after the operation. So she start to fit. On that day after she fit, suddenly she fit on her leg becomes swollen, and then she admitted to the emergency. So different people have different reaction on a bed bite. So this is myself. So again, this is some of the manifestation of how the reaction of the biting after you've been bitten by bed bugs depend on individual. Not all individual who will have the same reaction and so on. So in US, this is August 2010, CDC, Center of Disease Prevention and Environmental Protection Agency, have made a joint statement where bed bugs are pests of significant of public health importance. Even though the public health importance is not like mosquito that causes disease, but due to the highly infestation, it can cause this skin reaction, allergy, and many other public health that concern. And also involve also hygienic issue and many more. But later we will see where hygienic and cleanliness doesn't have a significant effect on bed bug infestation. So in this statement, they say that bed bug fit into a category of blood-sucking enterprises, similar as a kutu rambut, kutu badan, the body lice, the pediculus humanus. So what caused resurgence? This is old paper, 2000. This is like in US when I did my PhD. Bed bug is like a concern in US. Any cases or any one reported cases in the dormitory, in the hostel, they will do a direct treatment. Even in Malaysia also, there's a bed bug concern, but not a concern much as other pests because it depends on how many people report and also infection. There are some people, when they have a bed bug in their house, they don't care because they doesn't, the person who sleep in the building or in the house that have bed bug infestation, it doesn't cause any harm to them because they have no skin reaction when they have been bitten. So there are no complaints. So when there's no complaints, there are no action to control it and so on. So a few article on about bed bug from my laboratory and some of the information that we share in the newspaper. You can find this more article from the link above there. I just want to share, we heard about a lot of public health important caused by bed bugs and many issue, but bed bugs actually there are tools that can be used in criminal science investigation, CSI. So this work, just share a few things. This work have been done, conducted by my former PhD student. Currently, she will continue her postdoc next month. So how this bed bug can be used as tools in forensic science. So just if you know, this is a character, Dr. Grissom, cannot remember his real name, but he's an actor in the Las Vegas crime scenes investigation. For those who love to watch CSI, like myself, I'm a fan of CSI movie, CSI TV series. Now CSI Las Vegas also they remake a new one, a new series starting I think a year or 2 years ago. And Dr. Grayson was a lead entomologist, so he used insects for forensic science, but he used flies and other medical important insects. But how bed bug can assist in solving crime or criminal science investigation? So bed bug, imagine when you found a person that died in a building, for example, there's a criminal cases found in, this is my department, you find somebody dead, and then in that room, you found there's a lot of bed bug. A bed bug. How this bed bug can use to find who killed that particular person. So one of it is we use STR profiling and SNP profiling. So that means it can tell relatively the characteristic phenotypic of the people. So that means that in that room, there are 10 people or 5 people, and 5 of these people can be a suspect. But when we screen out, maybe there's only 2 suspect out of 5. If there are no other clues, no other insects, no blowfly, for example, other than blowflies and other medical insects that are used for crimes investigation, you also can use. So with this profiling, it can tell a profile of human cases. So what it can tell you the eye, the hair, and the color prediction. So for example, in that room, if somebody died, and then you have a bed bug sample, you take the blood extract out from the bed bug, and then you found that this characteristic blue eye color, black color, black hair. So that means if there are people who have no blue eye, that means that you can discriminate it as a suspect. So this is some of example where the STR and SNP profile that pull out from the blood meal of the bed bug also can be used for criminal investigation cases. So this is some example of bed bug, how it can be used other than it is a public health important, but also can be used in criminal science investigations. It can provide a basic genotype profiling of a human from the blood meal. So it can, and from this study, we found that up to 45 days. So that means that from 45 days after post-feeding blood meal, we still can pull out the phenotypic information from the blood, the human phenotypic characteristics out from the blood meal. So now the issue is that why the sudden resurgence of bed bug cases? Why? This is the question. Why? Is it the issue is that the bed bug is always there, only that people notice or not notice. But now the cases are more and more keep coming in. So if you heard over the past 2-3 months during the summer period in Europe, there are a lot of cases. This is some of the screenshot from the internet and also from the newspaper. The concern in Europe where the bed bug now increasing, especially in Paris, France. Why that happened? So that means that it's not a scenario in Europe. Actually, this has happened worldwide. Even I just returned back from China. I was invited as a visiting professor at Jiangxi Agriculture University. So I spent there for 10 days and we have a discussion with few PCOs and other researchers that work also in bed bugs. We found that some part of the central China and also southern China that used to have a common bed bug, now when they do a sampling of bed bug cases, now they are tropical bed bug. So that means that they might coming up from tropical, they're going up to more temperate and they can adapt the environment. And also people are now, after COVID, people are moving around. After the borders are now open, after COVID-19, people can easily move around and here and there. Because as I mentioned earlier, bed bug is a bad traveler. They cannot travel far. They only can travel within 20 feet of your surrounding. The rest, they need the help from people. People that are sleeping in the area, they move around. So the bed bug hitchhiking, and you accidentally brought the bed bug. Because it happened to me when I did my PhD in United States. I have a junior student, undergrad student from Malaysia. She liked to stay in our home, or people said lepak for makan. They come to family home because they can cook meal, good home meal, something like that. So her home have a bed bug. So we never know, because my home, there are no bed bugs. But after 1 month, there's a bed bug at the sofa because she stay over there. So that means that it hitchhiked from a place where there are bed bug to a place where there are no bed bug. Another reason also, is increase of secondary furniture. Not sure in Malaysia, people hardly sell secondary furniture, but in US and other part of Europe country, like the garage sale, car boot sale, people sell secondary furniture. And this furniture, later I'll show you a picture. This furniture, sometimes they have immature bed bug or the eggs. These eggs can last quite long before they start to hatch. Few weeks, I mean 6 to 2 weeks before it hatch. So during that period, if there's a bed bug eggs and you bring to another home, when you purchase a secondary furniture, it can start to resurgence in your home. And also, everybody can fly. This is a team by the Asia. Now with cheap transportation so that people can move around. Now, in Europe cases, like in Paris, they found that bed bug found in cinema, even in the aeroplane, in the seat of the aeroplane, in the chairs you're sitting, even in the public transportation. I will show you some of the data in Malaysia we found in the public transportation. Immigrants, people moving around, cluttering. Cluttering is not because of hygienic, because when there are too many stuff, later I'll show some of this information. The bed bug have more hairbrush, more space for them to stay, and it get hard for you to control because the bed bug, they hide under the bed, under the edges. So when you have a lot of stuff, they have a lot of place to hide and so on. And then move of the shift. For example, from one method, they are using this particular method, and then the bed bug getting more and resistance. Then one of the issue concern right now, we talks about climate change. So the change of the temperature, we can see that the movement of tropical bed bug now found in the temperate region. This is due to the immune of the tropical bed, why they can stay at a more harsh and higher temperature. And then this causes evolution. They can adapt in the surrounding area. So this is a lot of issues. So if you look at, this is old data, but I just want to share. In 1950s, 70s, there are not much publication about bed bug. But if you look at the year of 2000, this is until 2009, year 2000, the bed bug scenario of people working or doing research in bed bug, or even a paper that been published to show about bed bug increase in the year of 2000 above. And now I think, even though there are no recent updated on this paper, I try to find latest, but it's about 2011. Now the cases keep increasing. And now if you can look at the literature review, there are many cases of bed bug now being reported throughout globally. So it's not issue in Paris, in Europe, but it's issue in global wide. Either we notice or not notice, depend on the local condition. So one of our bed bug infestation here, when we did, this is in Malaysia and also similar to other scenario, because bed bug, they like a cluttering area. So this study was done in 2014 until 2017. So I have few of my students, we try to survey bed bug infestation throughout Malaysia, from northern to southern part of Malaysia, Johor, but we haven't go through Sabah and Sarawak. So most of the infestation we found mostly at the area where the cluttering is high, like the flat. So if you look at the picture here, on the right here, this is a flat housing or apartment. People live close to each other. So if you found one apartment or one unit that have high infestation of bed bug, for example, like here, this is my student, we found a lot of bed bug hiding under the zip. For example, you have a pillow, it look fine, but when you pull under the pillow, you open the zip, there's a lot of eggs and bed bugs inside the pillow. Imagine that you've been sleeping with the bed bugs, and then you have a neighbor, kid come to your house, they stay, they play, and your kids play around and move to another to their home, and then people coming in from top to your unit and then going down. So that means the spread can be easily because they hitchhiking and so on. So this is, we do a sample. We found a lot of bed bug infestation. So this is a recent video. I'll thank Miss Aslinda. So this is some example how serious infestation can be. This is can be category high infestation. where the bed bug is just like everywhere, on the sofa, on the bed, on the curtains, even on the clothes. But this particular auntie, she's okay with it. Even the people want to do a treatment, she don't want it. She said it's okay because there are no itchiness, there are no redness, but she's okay. But her clothes, her hair have bed bug. So she been living on bed bugs, no issue, because she have no reaction on bed bug bites. And at the same time, also bed bug is not a vector. So this is scenario, if you look in this video, highly infested building. This is in the flat, where the and also in the same time, also in the house, there are so many stuff, old bed, old mattress, old all these materials where the bed bug can hide, and it will get hard to control when there are too much cluttering. So you can see sleeping condition. So this is all in the bedding area. So some of the sites are from the hostel. Other than we found other than a cluttering area like a flat area, also in the worker dormitories where people like to live in the cluttering area, there's a lot of bed bug in the dormitory. You can see here. Both look nice, but when you open the edges here, there's a lot of bed bug, even in the kelambu, the net, the sleeping net. Some people like to sleep in the net to avoid mosquito, but it become a harborage for the bed bug to stay. So even when we pull out, you can find a lot of bed bug. Yeah. So this is more on the worker dormitory. You can see here, there's a lot of eggs and stain. If you look at the photo here, this is a door, a wooden door. When you open, there's a lot of bed bugs. This is, you can find a lot. But this side, there are no complaint. We just, my team went for sampling throughout Malaysia. So we stopped by every worker site. So we go to the worker dormitory, a lot of bed bug, but they have no issue. They don't even call PCO. There's not an issue for them, but there's a lot of bed bug. Here on the right side, this is from airport, from the airport. Imagine this is at International Lounge, the right picture. You pull, there's a lot of bed bug. This is the first and the last time they allowed me to go. This is first and the last time they allowed me to go to the airport. After that, cannot go anymore. There's a lot of bed bug. Imagine the outside it look very nice, no insects, but when you pull this bedding material of the chair, you can see a lot of bed bug hidden in the crack and crevices underneath. Even though they do a treatment, but because it's made of a leather, it's waterproof, so the insecticide cannot penetrate through, so it still can stay alive. When the residue is gone, then the bed bug will come out and so on. So this is some issue. This is from the airport, from the public transportation and so on. So this is some data that we found. So most of this is a Malaysia scenario. We found that a lot of this bed bug infestation come from the worker dormitory and also from flat and apartment. So there's a lot of bed bug because of the cluttering issue. It doesn't. And also, other than that, also other than cluttering issue, we also found in the resident area where it's a bungalow house. It's a, how to say, it's a high class housing area, rich people, but they are bed bug. Why? Because in that house, there's a lot of stuff. People want to do control quite hard because they have a lot of this jati furniture and also mattress and so many stuff in the house. So it's quite hard to clear out and so on. So this is the issue. So bed bug, that's why we call it as bed bug, because they are found majorly at the bedding area where you stay. So this is some of genetics work that we done. This is from Malaysian population, and we found that there are two major clusters unrelated geographic location where observed such one or two source of interaction. So that means that if in Malaysia, the infestation that caused the infestation in Malaysia is due to one or two source of introduction. So that means that the bed bug being introduced one or two sources, and then they start to inbreed and they start to spread throughout the Malaysia. This is been published in Journal of Medical Entomology and so on. So that means there's and also we found that one of the tourist area in Malacca, in Bandar Hili Malacca, we found that in Bandar Hili Malacca, we found that there's a mixture of the pool of genetics. And when we look for this pool of genetic, we found that similarities to bedbug in Thailand. So that means that people are traveling from Thailand, from Bangkok, they travel, and that population start to introduce. So people from Thailand, maybe a tourist, come to Bandar Hili Malacca, they stay in a hotel, they bring bedbugs in it, and then they mix with the local bedbug, and we have a genotypic, the strain similar to the one in Thailand. So this is some example of movement. So if you can see, you can get all the bedbug from throughout the country, the part of the world, you can see how it move around. So this is some of the information of the bedbug. So let me skip this. Okay. So about public awareness. So when we do a survey about tropical bedbug control and public awareness, this is data in Malaysia, regardless of male or female or even age, but there are not much significant difference. Even though female look much more concerned, anything regarding about skin reaction, about yeah, you know, ladies, is there anything wrong with their skin, their face, they will always complain. But there are not much significant difference among gender, male or female. And also awareness level, if you look also, there are not much different about awareness of bedbug. Still awareness of about bedbug infestation, still quite less awareness. And also when we bring this bedbug sample to show among public, they do not know what's this. They think this is some kind of insects, but they don't know this is bedbug. And some of them also mis-ID it as a beetle, or even beetle, they claim it as a bedbug, so many. And even regardless of race also, there are not much difference about awareness and many more. So, but if in PCO, this is old data in Malaysia, just to share with colleagues in Indonesia and other parts of the country, that chemical and spray is the common method that been used to control bedbug in Malaysia. I think similar also in maybe in Southeast Asia region, where the using a chemical is one of the biggest or the most demanding approach in managing bedbug. And most of these cases come from a hotel and also resident house, only that been reported and so on. So there are cases around 1 to 20 cases, not that much, and severity around 3 out of 5. And also a lot of this PCO said they need require about more than 2 treatment. Now, many cases we found that not only 2, they need more than 2, maybe 3 or 4 to get the bedbug elimination. And some of it also say there's no resistance issue, but actually when we collect few of the bedbug sample in Malaysia, we found some of them have a insecticide resistant issue and so on. How about cuti, holiday? Have you choose your hotel by the complaints? So one of my former intern, we said, let's look at the hotel, this hotel platform for booking, for example, like booking.com, Agoda, Kayak, BNB, and so on. Let's see at the comments. Is there any comments on bedbug complaints? So actually, yeah, here's from the comments from the online booking. There, and most of the complaints come from the Selangor. So be careful also when you want to book, you want to avoid any hotel of the bedbug infestation. You can also look at the comments, the review at this booking platform and so on. So again, if you look here, when we ask respondent, do they avoid? Some of them they try to avoid and so on. And also some of the respondents, when they choose hotel, most of they look on the cleanness. Like for me, if I look for hotel, I look for, is there a swimming pool or not? Especially if I bring my family, swimming pool is important for me. Other than that, I don't really care. But in this data to show that some of these respondents, they look on the cleanness, also on the hygienic and so on. So what are the customer do when they found a bedbug? Some of them do a lot of complaint. They request a new room. And some of them will post experience. So importantly that you complain to the authorities or complain to the manager so that they can ask a proper measurement to control this bedbug infestation. So this is some level of concern. Some of them, more than 50%, they are not even worried. If there's a bed bug infestation, they don't really worry that much. There are scenario here. So that means that they're bed bug, but most of them are not really worried. More than 50%, they just briefly worried. And then some of them are also not sure. Do they familiar with bed bug? 50% and above of the respondent, they are not really sure. They are not even know what is bed bug is. So sometimes a public awareness about bed bug, similar as we do for mosquito, dengue, also need to do some public awareness. Similar work that been done for mosquito and other vector-borne disease that caused by other important insects. So let's go on some basics management of control. So importantly, when you found a bed bug, a video that I showed earlier, that's a highly infestation. That one is quite challenging to control because everywhere there are bed bugs. In the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the living room. That's why early detection is very important. If you found 1 or 2 bed bugs, do a preventive measurement. My experience is that when I found 1 or 2 bed bugs, I told a story just now where undergraduate student in Malaysia stay in our house in US when I did my PhD. She liked to come for home cooked meal, a Malaysian home cooked meal. So when we found at the early stage, that's after 1 month, it's only like 2 or 3 bed bugs found crawling, but we didn't do anything. Even though I was a PhD student in entomology work, I just said that because I'm too busy. But after a few weeks after that, after we found few signs of bed bug 2 or 3, we found a lot of bed bug in the bedroom, from the living room. Now we found in the bedroom. So that means if you do early detection, you can control them much better when it's getting higher. And also it will be less expensive. But if you have a high infestation like the video I showed earlier, that will take a few measurements, a few basic things that you have to do first to remove the cluttering, and then some strategy to control and also to overcome this from coming back. So that means that, and some of the people said, why don't vacuum the home? You know, because the bed bug, they only can travel within 20 feet of the area. Why don't we vacuum the home? There are no human, there are no blood meal, there are no other people that where they can feed. But again, it's not a practical thing to vacuum the home for quite some time, because imagine the adults who can stay up to 6 months to 1 year without any blood meal to stay alive. So one thing is that if you can avoid buying a secondary furniture, then avoid, especially a secondary mattress. When I did my PhD in US, I myself as a student, we are poor. Students are considered as poor. So we buy a lot of secondary furniture. Even the mattress also we buy second hand, and we can from the mattress. Sometimes you have to be careful, because if you found a black spot, you think it's because of other factors. Sometimes it's a sign of the bed bug dropping. And also they have a lot of hiding spot, as a picture showed earlier, at the joint of the cabinet door, the cupboard of the furniture, the door of the furniture. They can hide under that, and so on. So again, do not buy used furniture. But if you want to buy, then you have to be carefully inspect and not quarantine. Do not bring your home directly. Do a proper thorough inspection and do some control if you find there's a bed bug before you bring it into your home. Because if you live in a slum area, like a flat, apartment, area where there's a lot of people housing very close by, that means that if one unit have a bed bug, next 2 or 3 units up and above also you can find there's a bed bug. That's a scenario, because people going in and out in the area. So it can become a big cases in that particular area, and so on. So importantly is that most of you are PCO. Importantly is you need to correctly ID the pest. That's a basic tools, a basic information. And then you have to conduct a thorough inspection. And then also you need to look also on a sanitary measurement when you do this particular integrated pest management control. And then before you do any chemical control, you can use a lot of non-chemical measurement, like preventive measurement, proofing measurement, and many more. And then after that, then you can use insecticide after all these non-chemical measurement have been go thoroughly. Because some of us, when we found bed bug, we just want to use a chemical to spray. But again, there's a lot of factors before you can apply the cluttering level in the area, because the cluttering level is allowed of the average area for the bed bug, a place for the bed bug to hide, and so on. Okay, so again, as I mentioned earlier, bed bug is hitchhiker. They don't travel far, around 20 feet distance around that area, but us are the ambassador who transfer the bed bug from one place to another place. Shoes, you need to wear a proper flattened shoes. There are shoes that, you know, I'm not sure. I like to wear this kind of shoes because it gives more comfortable when running, not a running type of shoe. So when you go inspection of bed bug, make sure that you cover the bottom part with the plastic. You know, for example, for those that do COVID inspection, you wear the overall. You don't need to wear overall. You can cover the shoe part, with the plastic cover so that you don't step, because bed bug is flattened. They can hide in the shoe area. Imagine this shoe you wear for inspection and you go back home, and then you know, like me, when I go home, I like to slap my shoe. You slap the shoe and then the bed bug fall and crawl inside your home. Or even if you have this shoe cabinet inside your home, you put, and then it can start go and infest your house and so on. And also when you wear overall, do not wear that legging. Some of that legging, you know, this legging also at the bottom also allowed for the bed bug to hitchhike, and you bring the bed bug throughout the area. And also socks. So socks, you know, socks, if you have socks, the bed bug can cling. They can cling. So if you wear socks, that's why when you do inspection, do not wear socks. You wear a plastic cover, or if you have a socks, you cover it with the plastic because it will cling on your socks and you will bring it. And also even your clothes. You know, sometimes you have loose and then you pick up the bed bug or you do a treatment and then it start to cling and start to hide behind your collars and so on. So again, the clothing when you do inspection and control also very important. As I mentioned earlier, before you do any chemical treatment, you can do vacuum. Vacuum, like the picture video showed earlier, there's a vacuum. That one because we want to collect bed bug. But again, vacuuming is also a good approach because you are vacuuming also the eggs that are hidden in the carpets, at the edges of the carpet, at the furniture. And then if you have a clothes that have been infested bug, for me, if I found this kind of clothes, I just throw away. Some people, they have some sentimental value. This is my old clothes when I meet my girlfriend and so on. The sentimental value, so they don't want to throw away. But if you don't want to throw away, you have to laundry the clothes. Put everything in the plastic bag, all the clothes before you do any treatment. Because if you don't keep all these things away and you do treatment, no use. Because the bed bug, they can hide in the clothes, yeah, in the clothes area, in the cabinet. Even some people who do not keep their room tidy, they just leave the clothes on the floor. The bed bug can just hide. So you can also wash in hot water. So from the study, 50 Celsius is a recommended temperature. Even the soap also can kill it. But if you can use a washing machine that have a temperature that we can control around 50 Celsius together with the soap, washing detergent and so on, and then you dry the clothes better. But if you can discard all the old clothes, then it's better. The more you discard, less cluttering, is easier to do the treatment. And then after you already wash and clean all these clothes, then you put in the confined plastic, keep away, and you can do a treatment later. So this is an issue. So if you look here, physical management is very important. If you look in this picture here, this is too much stuff, cluttering on the left here, with the balloon, with the books on the floor, and so on. Yes, you have a bed bug infestation, but the bed bugs can hide in the furniture, at the joints, the eggs they lay, they can be there. Very hard to do a treatment when it's too much cluttering like this. This is, for me, considered cluttering. If you look on the right side here, the one with this pink, with this flower bed sheet. For me, this is considered high cluttering. For me, why? Because you have this clothes hanging. If imagine you have a bed bug infestation, the bed bug can cling on this closed area. So that means it's still cluttering, but in the tidy form. So less clutter, the better for bed bug management. Even though the room look tidy, but there are so many stuff. Like my home, 2 big cabinets closed. All are my wife's tudung, scarf. My cabinet closed only one area. Hers like the whole, from school tudung until now tudung. What Nilofa tudung, whatever brand tudung. So I do not know. There's many brand of tudung. So imagine if you put hanging here and around, you allowed the bed bug to hibernate in the area. So depend. But here in the bottom here is sanitation. So bed bug doesn't care. Your house is sanitized, your house is dirty, your house is clean. For example, like this particular bathroom is too dirty. It's good for other pests like the American cockroaches and other medically important insects. But for bed bug, they don't care. Your house is clean, your house not clean. But if there's an area for them to hibernate, to stay high, like the cluttering level is high, then it's important. Like this house also, on the right side. Yeah, so many. This is a random picture from the internet, not from the, because I have a real picture, but this picture is a private, cannot be shared because people home. But this is from the internet sources. So for example, here, too much cluttering here with the TV, with all the UV. So it's quite hard to do a treatment. So if you do spraying, it will not work. So that means just waste of time. So if you call a PCO just treat it without cleaning the area, remove the cluttering, then it's no use. It will be like a long control until up to 2 years or maybe after that and so on. So again, first you can do also some monitor. You can have an active monitor of the passive. There are a lot of monitoring. Sticky trap, for this is if it's a high level station, it's easier to get the bed bug on the sticky trap. There's a lot. You can just monitor first. And there are some of this particular, for example, this Verify. This product, when I was in your state, we did do some research. It doesn't really quite effective because it need to be a very high level station that you can attract, because it has a carbon dioxide that release to attract and so on. And also this is active monitor, that means that they release a carbon dioxide and some pheromone to attract bed bug. This is just to monitor the bed bug. And then also there are also people use dogs, but in Malaysia and other part of the country, using dogs is not an option because of the like for me, I'm a Muslim, so you have a dog in home, it's not a good idea for dog to sniffing around your home. So there's a lot of issue about that. But in some cases in US, when I was in US, they do some demonstration using dog sniffing, like a dog sniffing for drugs. They can be trained to sniff bed bugs, but there are some false positive. If the dog's in good mood, they can show there's a bed bug, but if not in good mood, then sometimes it gives you a false negative result. So there's a lot other tools. And some information from basic of bed bug management. Sometimes throughout, even from my colleagues in PCO, they always say that bed bug cannot be controlled with one treatment. They usually take 2, 3 or more than that. Some cases of pests, one-time treatment is enough. But in case of bed bug, sometimes it takes more than that, 2 or more than 3 treatment to control the whole scenario and so on. So again, it's important to use a different formulation. In several insecticide, you have to think again. Some of these insecticide, they might have resistant issue, especially if the product is similar to AI that have been used to control mosquito. Can be a overlapping of insecticide resistant issue, because we use a lot of parasite-based insecticide to control mosquito. And at the same time also used to control bed bug, so they are overlapping of resistant issue also at the same time, because even though that product is not being used to control bed bug, but it been exposed to that particular chemical for a long time and so on. So again, don't use a same insecticide for all the time. So this is basic information for PCO. I think this is very, very common. So we did some study, some bed bug that we collected throughout Malaysia. This is Ms. Zulaika Zaharan. Now she's worked as a regulatory at Institute Malaysia. So we collect bed bug. We collect also bed bug that have been reported by the pest control operator that been treated the home or the house. They said it's very hard to kill the bed bug in this area. So we bring the sample. And we see some of these bed bug, they have some it's resistant issue with deltamethrin AI product compared to propoxel, where they show much better. So it depends on which particular strain of bed bug that you collected in that particular area. Some show high resistance on deltamethrin issue and so on. So this is few of the product that available. This is from the published literature. So there are many. Like now, I'm not promoting the product name. Importantly is that I want to show that there are products that when you use chemical, they are dual action, dual AI. They are two AI combined, one AI. So now if the product, the bed bug, the resistance to one AI, the other AI can take care of it. For example, there are some of it that the imidacloprid plus sulfurine, for example, niacinamide plus pyrethroid, and there are products that combination with few of other AI as combination. So far there are two, but they are now currently working with 3 AI combination. I think when there are 3 AI combination, I think things will get more expensive to purchase the chemical. So at the end of the day, so once you take care of this culturing level, the physical measurement, the IPM strategies, so when you want to do any treatment, importantly is that when you do this, that which insecticide you want to use. Importantly, look at the label, regardless whatever the brand is. Regardless whatever the brand is, what are the AI they're using? Which insecticide are appropriate? And then importantly is how to apply. Effectiveness, because I'm at the researcher part. As a marketing or businessman or businesswoman, they have different idea. For me as a researcher perspective, there's a lot of things need to be asked. Which insecticide? What AI? Regardless of brand. I don't look at the brand, the AI that been used. How to apply, effectiveness. And then importantly is that when you control bed bug, it's always associated with human sleeping area. You do a spray, for example, you do a spray in the bedding area, and then tonight you sleep on it. I don't think it'd be a good idea for somebody sleep on the bed that has been sprayed with a chemical, even though they say that the chemical is not harmful, but it's a chemical. It's a chemical. So again, that's a question, important note. People sleep on the bed. So again, long residual is good for bed bug. This is a question. We want a product to have a long residual so that it can kill the bed bug or even repel the bed bug away. But again, we have to be careful because we apply it at the area where people like us, kids, sleeping on it, even animals, if you have cats and dogs sleeping and so on. So importantly is that when you do a treatment, you have to open all the bedding materials. Some, from my observation, some we just spray directly on the bed without removing the pillow cover, the bedding cover. You need to remove everything, kena toggle. You need to remove everything. So that means it's just going to be a board, the bed frame, because it's easy to find the height area. Especially, for example, the bed bar. This is a picture from resampling. This is my picture. Resampling. This is a site in Balik Pulau. At the edge of this bed, there's a lot of bed bug in the hidden area. Imagine. So that means you need to have a spot treatment at the bedding area. Do not wet the bed. Do not wet the bed. Some just spray everything. I seen one in the public transportation in the airport where they bring the one I showed you earlier, the chair with the bed bug station. They just spray. They don't even open the stool. That's why the bed bug is still alive, because they're hidden under the leather surface. This leather surface are waterproof and so on. So again, remove of the fabric material. Imagine in the airport, in the public transportation, they have a leather surface, and you found bed bug and then you just soak everything. Cannot. because the bedbug they're hidden inside, and this ladder are waterproof and so on. So that means it's important to disassemble the parts, and this is quite a challenging work. Some people, they don't want to do this. You disassemble, dismantle, after you spray, after it dry up, then you want to assemble back. It take a time. So again, a fabric material also play a concern because the bedbug, they can hide inside. You have to understand the behavior because they hide inside and it's quite hard. So again, the residue of the spray cannot penetrate to this thick, actually the leather surface. So that means that, and then also importantly is that you must air dry at least a minimum 48 hours. Do not let the people come and stay or sleep in that treatment house because the residue is still there, at least for about 48 hours. More than that is much better. At least you are confident that the residue are no longer there for us, a human, to sleep in the area. Even in the carpet area. So in the carpet area, if some people like some building, they have full carpet area like office, in the mosque, they have a carpet grippers. I found a cases back in one of the site in Selangor office. When we pull it. This is a picture from the internet source. When we pull, there's a lot of bedbug hidden in the carpet grippers underneath. So that means imagine that before you put the carpet, they are like a sponge, like a standard cover, and then a sponge layer, and then after that the carpet layer. So they hidden in the area. Imagine if you just do a spray, despite it cannot penetrate, the bedbug still have an ample spot. That's why it's quite challenging when you do a chemical treatment, because you have to disassemble most of the part area so that you can reach the hidden part of the area and so on. Same here as in the public transportation. So this is all where the bedbug hidden under that particular area. So it's quite challenging. So this is from my experience for here. If you look in the right picture, this is from the airport, the hidden here. So this according to the local PCO, the local authorities who do treatment, they bring this whole bench of chair to the treatment site, they spray. But when we go to the spray site, we pull, there's still a bedbug there because they don't disassemble. That's why need to disassemble, because there's a lot of hidden space. If they spray on the surface, it's quite challenging because the chemical cannot penetrate and so on. So again, after 48 hours, if you find any bed bugs or exoskeleton, you remove it and then you assemble it and so on. This is actually the chair in the public area. But now, if you look at the shopping complex, even the newly built airport, there are no, how to say, fabricated furniture or chairs. Now more on the metal kind of chair in this area. So people stay on this because to avoid insects to hit. Because when you stay in the airport, you have layover for 8 hours, even 12 hours, or even 24 hours, people sleep in the area. So if you have a bed bug, they can start to hemorrhage in this particular area where you are sleeping. So again, a design of the furniture also very important. The design of it very important. So it's involved many parts and so on. So again, after treatments, when you do is that you need to do a ventilation. Very important. Open the window because, as I mentioned earlier, bed bug is related with the bedding area people sleep. So you need to make sure it's circulate. So that make sure that do this with a precaution measurement and so on. After that, a lot of study that been done by Pereira and then also by Professor Chang Long Wang from Rutgers University recently show that actually heating is the best way. But again, when you use heater, how much heater you want to use? For example, this is a big dormitory. They release a hot temperature around 50 Celsius and above. How much it will cost? And also they did a test where they put a heater, regular heater. If you are in a 4-season country, during winter time, you have a portable heater. You can use that to heat, because this heat, they can penetrate through all the bedding materials, through the cushion. But again, some furniture, for example, like in my office right now, where I have the plywood and they have the glue. Some of this glue, when it's too hot, it will start to crack. Sometimes, so you have to check also. Some of this furniture, when it made of plywood and there's a glue sticking all this surface of it, when it's too hot, that sticky thing, it will come out and so on. But actually the temperature, from a lot of study, they use actually temperature using a heater is much better in controlling because it can penetrate through the carpet. You don't need to open and do a treatment. Actually, it can cover the whole room. So you need to have a big heater. In US, I'm not so sure in Europe, but I've been experienced in United States. Using a heater is very common to control bed bug, especially in a big dormitory, big school, hostel, and many more. So they can kill about almost 100% of bed bugs from either eggs, neem to adults. So there are no issue about insecticide resistance issue and so on. But again, the question is affordable and applicable. When you use a lot of heat, then you need to have a bigger equipment. Because there are a colleague of mine who want to do a heater, use a small heater like this one portable, so it will not enough to room the whole living room. So you need a bigger heater to heat the whole room or the whole building and so on. So this is the cost. Alternative way also, if you are travelers, you can purchase roof encasement. I think now they sell in Shopee. I saw this in Shopee. Even in Lazada, you can buy a protect mattress. So if you're a businessman, you are a traveler, bring this as a precaution, because when you have this bed encasement, you will cover all those joints where the bed bugs hidden and so on. And you can use also heat treatment. So this is much more better way for infestation that are not so high. So you can use a steam to steam at the area where there are bed bug infestation. If the area are not very big, you can use the steamer. It's a good way. You can steam the mattress because the steam will penetrate through the cushion material so that the eggs, the nymph inside it, you can kill. Because sometimes only the adult or the fostering fish inside that can come out. But the eggs and so on still hidden inside it. And that the best way also you can do fumigation. Again, but fumigation is different rule of regulation. Not everybody can do that. You can kill other insects also. But again, this particular heat treatment from the finding from research is the one of the best way other than using chemical approach and so on. There are a lot of work using biocontrol also, using aspergillus. This work done by my former master student. It shows very promising again, but this is in lab scenario. Imagine that you apply fungus in the bedding area, so it's not suitable again. So there are pros and cons. In lab condition, it's promising. It can kill all stage of bed bug from eggs, nymph to adult. But again, you have to think, because when you apply this fungus and you apply and control in the living where people are sleeping, it's not a good scenario, not in a good condition, because people inhaling this fungus, and it can be harmful also when it accumulates in the lungs. But the data show quite promising to control and so on. So the question is the field application. One I like to share a lot is using a diatomaceous earth. This is one of the current paper that we published. If you look at the literature review using a Google Scholar or Scopus, current control method or non-chemical approach, a lot of study that been published recently in the past 2-3 years until this year. A lot of people have been done using diatomaceous earth, and they show that diatomaceous earth actually is a how to say that, is a kerang-kerang that come from this shell, kerang-kerang, the shell, diatoms for the aquatic organism. So it been looked as this powder, and you can apply it as spot, not that much, because if you put so much like the whole area, you put like soaking the area with the powder, the bed bug can run away. When they from the study, it showed that the bed bug will avoid the area, so that you want to just to speckle the area, just like a thin layer. For example, you have this book, you don't want to see that white powder. It's just like a small thin layer, so that when the bed bug crawl, it will contact with the body, so the body, it will then later die. And from the data, it showed that 99% it can be killed using diatomaceous earth. Again, remember, this is in the powder form. If you apply in the bedding area, you are sleeping on it, you're inhaling this diatomaceous earth. So again, you need to apply at the correct measurement. You need to seek professional help, because you cannot just pour it on the bed. It just need to be at the crack and crevices where the bed bug is hidden, where the hemorrhage of bed bug, not at the open place where the people are sleeping and so on. If you put too much, like for example in this region area, it can crawl away from the region. This is one of the method currently, and diatomaceous is also easily to get available. So this is one of the approach But again, if it's too heavy, then it's a different scenario. That means you have to combine the heat treatment, the vacuum, the cluttering level. You have to do a control, and then after that, you can apply the chemical treatment. So again, I'm almost at the end. As a conclusion, there is a study done by Susan Jones, even by Dr. Susan Jones in 2000, if not mistaken, in 2012. But there are recent study done by Rutgers University by Professor Chang Lung Wang from Rutgers University. Also use over-the-counter product. Doesn't show much result that over-the-counter product is over-claiming. It doesn't really kill the bed bug. When he did the comparison with diatomaceous earth, it's so much better. It can go up to 99% or to 100% of the bed bug only at the specific area. You cannot just pour this diatomaceous earth on the surface of the bedding area or in the living room and so on. Only at the crack and crevices at the spot area and so on. So as a take-home message, so again, in this method, before I end, you need to have an integrated approach, as I mentioned. The importance of this bed bug as an importance in the public health. It's not a vector, but again, it can cause a lot of reaction and it bite, depend on individual reaction and so on. So again, and most of this bed bug infestation come from a cluttering area. Even in Malaysia, from our data that we published, we did in 2014 up to 2017, most of this bed bug infestation come from high-rise building that have a high cluttering level. Cluttering level is dirty. It's not that dirty house or dirty, but it's too much stuff and too much people live in the house. For example, 2-bedroom flat apartment, but people that staying there about 10 people or 20 people, and then there's so many stuff around, even in the worker dormitories. So again, this is involve a community-wide bed bug management programs, as I mentioned earlier, and so on. So as a take-home message, there's a two-way, a defensive and offensive method. The first defensive method is bed in the bag. That means that you use the protective part of the you protect the bed from the bed bug by building by buying the plastic cover, the one I showed earlier. And then defensive method also wash and dry. So that means that if you have a bed bug infestation in a home not that so high, that means you need to always wash and importantly dry, because at 50 Celsius they can kill all stage of bed bug. And then importantly for defensive from bed bug infestation is less clutter. Less cluttering is the better. You simplify the room. The offensive method, vacuum. You need to keep vacuuming. And then you can use the steam spot area. And also you can use diatomaceous earth for spotting to control. But when it's too heavy, please seek the professional help from the pest control professional. Some of it you can do DIY. For example, like defense offensive method, if it's not too high. But when it's too high, like the video that I showed earlier, then you need to do some precautive measurement and so on. So let me see if I share with the sound. I cannot remember this now. Let me stop share first again. Okay. How to make this video move now? Okay. Just 5 minutes please.
Tidur malam kini tak senyenyak dulu. Kehidupan mula menjadi serba tak kena. Gatal-gatal di beberapa bahagian anggota badan kini menjadi mimpi ngeri. Saat malam gelita, mereka mula mencari mangsa. Ya, P.J.S.C pemburu malam sentiasa dahagakan darah manusia.
selagi ada sumber manusia, sumber darah yang boleh hisap, pijat tu ada. Pijat ni biasanya host seeking behavior dia keluar pada waktu senja, waktu malam.
Bila fobia tu, tahap fobia tu memang fobia sangat-sangat. Ada pernah satu malam tu, tidur pukul 11, bangun pukul 1.
Jika badan terasa gatal-gatal dengan kesan bintik-bintik merah selepas bangun daripada tidur, anda mungkin sudah menjadi mangsa pepijat. Pepijat atau nama saintifiknya Simapterus adalah sejenis serangga yang kerap ditemui pada tilam, sofa serta pakaian. Lebih parah, pepijat boleh berpindah habitat melalui kenderaan awam.
Public transportation, pengangkutan awam pun boleh dibawa. Kadang-kadang kita menginap di satu tempat ataupun kita pergi ke satu kawasan yang ada pijat. Secara tak langsung tu pijat ataupun telur pijat tu dia terlekat di fabrik baju, di celah-celah lipat seluar ataupun di leher tempat kita bersandar yang kursi sofa. Jadi bila kita pergi public transport secara tak langsung tu kita terpindah melekat di cushion pengangkutan awam. Jadi secara tak langsung dia mula membiak sebab manusia duduk di kawasan kursi tu dia akan hisap darah. Tak perasan pun rasa gatal, tapi rupanya yang hisap yang gatal tu sebabkan penyakit. Jadi dia akan mula biak di kawasan cushion, di celah-celah pelipat tu. Nanti bila penumpang lain ataupun yang lain datang duduk situ, dia akan bawa ke tempat lain. Jadi saya tak langsung dia boleh hitchhiking, dia boleh migrasi secara tak langsung lah.
Dr. Hafiz yang juga pensyarah Pusat Pengajian Sains Kaji Hayat berkata, Selangor mencatatkan jumlah kehadiran pepijat paling tinggi di negara ini diikuti Perak dan Kedah iaitu masing-masing sebanyak 50%. Selain itu, Pulau Pinang mencatat 35%, Johor 20% dan Terengganu sebanyak 18%.
Jadi masalah pijat ni kalau kita lihat di kita Malaysia, kebanyakan masyarakat perosak pun dah mula jumpa banyak kes, terutama di kawasan hotel, kawasan-kawasan perumahan pangsa yang berpendudukan padat, kawasan-kawasan pembinaan yang ada kontena pekerja asing. Di situ dapat jumpa banyak masalah pijat.
Masalah pepijat kini mula menjadi bualan dunia kerana ia boleh berpindah habitat melalui aktiviti pelancongan dan kemasukan pekerja asing. Bagi Zainal Azhar Muhammad, dia menyedari mula dihantui serangga ini selepas pulang daripada Vietnam.
Bila dah dapat tahu tu memang fobia lah. Sebab anak kena gatal malam tak boleh tidur. Tidur 2 jam mesti jaga balik sebab dia gatal tak boleh tahan tidur. Kadang-kadang malam tu tengah tidur bangun buka lampu nak tengok pijat tu ada kat anak-anak kata. Dan bila buka tengok selak kalihkan anak. Dia keluar 2 ekor bunuh. So jadi fobia sebab dia jadi bintik-bintik merah dekat anak. So bila kita boleh tahan daripada nak menggaru tu tapi anak-anak menggaru sampai lekat parut dekat badan, kaki dia semua, tangan dia semua. So lepas daripada tu, bila dah tahu pijat, baca blog, cari apa jalan penyelesaian dia. Tapi memang tak, macam dah tak ada jalan penyelesaian lagi.
Menurut Zainal, pelbagai usaha telah dilakukan untuk memerangi masalah pepijat, termasuk menggunakan petua tradisional.
Diorang bagi petua daun durian Belanda, buah durian Belanda tu, ambil semua letak bawah katil. Tapi tak selesai masalah. Lepas tu diorang ada cadangkan spray daripada Giant, balik spray. Tapi tetap tak mati, masih hidup juga.
Ini adalah antara kesan pepijat di mana tuan rumah akhirnya terpaksa meninggalkan rumah ini kerana sudah tidak tahan dengan masalah pepijat yang dihadapi. Dan walaupun sudah berhabis ribuan ringgit, namun masalah pepijat gagal diatasi. Sebagai mangsa, Zainal mengakui sangat fobia dengan apa yang menimpanya. Persoalannya, adakah masalah yang disebabkan pepijat ini tiada jalan penyelesaian?
Kaedah rawatan biasanya yang kita guna ialah semburan. Kaedah semburan dengan bahan kimia yang bersesuaian untuk pijat tu. Pijat ni memang liat nak mati. So kadang-kadang ada sekali buat tak sempat nak habis. Ada yang terpaksa ulang kali kedua. Depend on population pijat tu sendiri lah. So setakat ni kaedah kawalan dan monitoring.
Namun persoalan yang sering timbul di kalangan mereka yang berhadapan masalah pepijat, mengapa penggunaan bahan beracun yang dijual dalam pasaran gagal menghapuskan makhluk tersebut.
Kaedah lagi satu, pakai gas racun kelas 1A. Gas ni license operator yang boleh pakai. So gas ni dia akan bunuh sampai ke tahap telur. Tapi dia kelas 1A, amat berbahaya. Kalau kita nak buat satu rumah memang tak boleh ada orang kat rumah dan jiran-jiran dia pun sekurang-kurangnya 50 meter mesti kena kosong. Gas ni pun dikontrol oleh government, kita tak boleh suka-suka pakai. Bukan semua PCO syarikat pest control yang boleh buat guna gas ni, cuma syarikat yang berdaftar sahaja.
Dan bagi anda yang terus-menerus berhadapan masalah ini, sebaiknya dapatkan nasihat pakar, terutama agensi yang menawarkan perkhidmatan kawalan serangga berlesen.
Alright, so I would like to thank Universitas Diponegoro Faculty of Public Health for the invitation for this visiting professor talk. And also I'd like to thank my team, my students from Household and Structural Bioentomology Lab. And then if there's anybody who like to collaborate and do further research, my parts are here. Other than bedbug, also we do on other household insects like termite, bedbug, cockroaches, and also store product insects. And we do also testing and also any other molecular work related to genetics and population genetics. So if there are any question, I would like to address it. So I pass back to Miss Nina. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz. It's a lot of comprehensive insight. I think start by biological of the bedbug until how to control. I think a lot of knowledge that we got today from your presentation. Now we invite all of the participants that who want to ask to Dr. Hafiz about bedbugs or any question about control of bedbug. You can raise your hands and or you can type in the chat box. Yeah, for your information, in our country, we have several names of the bedbug. Based on the region, I think in Java we call it tinggi.
Tinggi.
Yeah, and in West Java I think is called bangsat, and then any name is kutu kasur. So a lot of name for the bedbug, but same effect, I think. So maybe any participant who wants to ask directly. Okay, this is a question from Bu Martini. Dr. Hafiz, you mentioned 3 species of bedbug infest our environment. Please would you inform which one is more dangerous and bad impact, and is there a different bionomic aspect?
Well, actually, common and tropical bedbug, those two have a similar impact, actually. It doesn't matter, is it a common or tropical bedbug? I mean, common is a Cimex lotularius, and another one is a tropical bedbug, Cimex hemipterus. The bionomics and everything are the same. When you have an infestation, then it will cause a lot of issue, public health issue, and also other issue. Actually, doesn't matter. The other one is bedbug is rarely found in home. That one is related to bats, klawar. So it's not related in human dwellings. But these two, Cimex hemipterus, tropical bedbug, found in the temperate region, and the common bedbug, Cimex lotularius, found in the more temperate region. Both have a medical and public health importance.
Okay. Maybe Mrs. Martini, do you any feedback? Live feedback, maybe? Oh, maybe Mrs. Martini. Okay. And next, this is from Mr. Tuku Muhtar from Associate of Vector Control, I think, in Indonesia. How often to rotate pesticide chemical use, Dr. Hafiz?
Well, it depends on type of insecticide you use, and also how frequent you do a treatment. For example, if you only treat that home only one time, then I think it's okay to use it for some time until 3 or 4 applications. But if you do a treatment in that house like every month until up to 6 months, I think after 6 months you can rotate it just to avoid anything. Because it depends. Some treatment like here in scenario in Malaysia, usually there's a bedbug cases, you only do 1 time treatment and then 2 or 3 times. Then it's okay to use one type of insecticide or AI. But if after that you see a bedbug infestation next year, for example, from the same home, then you have to rotate just to make sure that in case there are insecticide resistance that have been developed in that particular product that you apply. Sometimes it's not because of the product or the product is not effective, because again, it's the cluttering level is too high. Because I see a lot of bed bug management, they don't even remove all this cluttering, remove the bedding, they just spray right away. So again, the product is good, but for example, like the one that I show you, the one in the airport, they do a treatment in the quarantine room, but when we pull at the back of the seat, the bed bug still there because the AI doesn't penetrate. Then people start saying that this product is not good. Actually, the product is good, only the way of we apply it doesn't reach the target insects, it doesn't reach the insects. So then people start to say, oh, this product not good, and then we need to buy a new one. Actually, the product is good, but the application, it doesn't get to the target.
So it's not about the chemical of insecticide, but the application or human operator that.
Yes. Sometimes that's why you have to look also. Sometimes we always like to blame the insecticide is not good. Actually, it does work, but only that it doesn't targeted because it's been covered. So because bed bug is quite tricky, because once you have a heavy infestation like the one the video show, it's everywhere. It's inside the mattress, it's inside the pillow, it's a lot of many things. And then for me, it's better to throw away, discard so many things that you don't want to sleep on the pillow that have bed bug already. Some people have like sentimental value. I don't know, in Indonesia they call what we call it as bantal busuk. Bantal busuk, like I need this pillow for me to sleep, or this clothes. So because it happened to my auntie house also, that I said to her, move this, throw away this mattress. You have a lot of money, you can buy a new mattress, because it's so many. So many.
But sometimes someone have any like a culture that cannot sleep without bantal busuk.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, some people they need that. If not, they cannot sleep. Yeah. Sometimes the one that I found in my aunt house, that bantal busuk, her kids' favorite was a lot of bed.
It's a important thing to someone. And then maybe with wait the other participant to ask, I will ask some question, Doctor. That in your presentation you said that every people have a different effect of if they bite by bed bug. So what the reason why have a difference? Someone can not have effect, someone severe effect. Why they?
It's depend on the sensitivity to the saliva, because when bed bug they bite, pierce, and sucking, they release this saliva protein. It depends on how individual react. It depends on the immune. So I think it need to be addressed by a doctor or people who work in the human anatomy, or because like for me, I did do on me. For me, when the bed bug bite, we do testing after 3 days and I feel itchy. Some of my students, after being bite, it just get red. And one of my former PhD student, when she first time give bed bug feed on her ankle, on the leg, after that it become bengkak, become swollen, and they need to enter. So it depends on the reaction individual, depend on the antibody or the immune system reaction. So that's why you see the bed bug is not being reported that much. Actually, in Malaysia, there's a lot of bed bug issue, but people don't report it because they don't care, because the bed bug sleep, it doesn't affect. They saw a bed bug, but it just doesn't affect on their daily routine. Only complaints come when people start to have itchy, people come and check and inspect and complains, then there's a data. That's why when my lab, my team, we go for bed bug, we follow the report by the PCO, and also we did a survey throughout the era, through the cities, and going down to see, because some of these are not being reported because they've been sleeping with bed bugs throughout their lifetime.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. This is any question from Mr. Hafiz from Professional Pest Control East Java. Best trap for catch abundance on population bed bugs. How with the best trap, And then, are there any unnatural biology enemies for bed bug? Maybe it can be applied.
Well, for tribe, actually, there's an interceptor where you can put on the bottom of the leg of the bed bug, like a cup, so that when the bed bug come, it will, some people put like a petrol or some chemical, so that when bed bug want to climb, it fall into that trap. So that's one of the common. Actually, so that, and also one thing also you can do is that if your bed is close to the wall, you can like have a gap, little bit like a 2-inch gap, so that when the bed bug crawl on the wall, it doesn't crawl onto the bed. And one thing also, you can put like interceptor on the leg. But now, if you look on the bed, the bed doesn't have the leg anymore. Like even my bed is just like, the how to say, the spring box, the box, and then the bed. That there are no legs, so the bed bug can just crawl along. So it depends on the design, depend on the structure, because if you go different country, different cities, even if I go to Japan last time, some of my colleague home, they don't have bed, they have like a sleeping mattress, just a sleeping mattress. So it depends, we can apply that leg interceptor, but there are some passive trap when the bed bug can just crawl, and also there's some trap that have a pheromone and also carbon dioxide release, but that one has been stopped because it's quite expensive and so on. And also for biological control, so far there are no biological enemies for bed bug. So far there are no biological biological enemies for bed bug. So the concern about bed bug is because it's not a vector, but it just cause this harmful. Depend, because like me, when I feed on myself, after 3 days I feel itchy and I keep scratching, because when you scratch, you feel so relieved, and then you keep scratching when you sleep without noticing, and then the next 2 days it's getting more and more red.
Okay. I see Dr. Susi raise hand. You want to ask directly, Doctor? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Susi.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nissa.
Yeah.
Hello, Professor Hafiz. It's very nice to join your presentation. A very, very interesting presentation. Okay. I'm Susi from. It sounds like Japanese food, maybe. I'm from faculty of School of Veterinary Medicine at P.J.S.C. University, and from your presentation, and I have read from the publication that many publications that even the bedbug has species, certain species of bedbug has host in animals, many animals, maybe bats and poultry like that. But also there are alternate hosts for C.max hemitrus or C.max lecturarius to animal beside preference of
Human.
course human. And I have experience that when a case of infestation of bedbug in the poultry layer, and I put it to identification the bedbug from the layer, and there is a C.max hemitrus.
Tropical bedbug.
Yeah.
There are cases that found on the poultry. For example, people that have a house nearby the poultry area, other than their house have bed bug, the poultry also on the chicken, also they found there's a bed bug. Also, but they do prefer more on human.
It must be a human that bring that to the poultry farm. Do you have any experience about the alternate host for C.max lecturarius or hemitrus to animal?
So far the cases that not been reported directly. We found on the poultry, chicken, few of these chicken also have bed bug, but it's not a concern to the chicken because it doesn't kill the animal. It doesn't kill the animal, but it's just there as a secondary host. But the preferable host is human. because this bed bug, regardless of species, they prefer blood. I mean, not like mammals that have a hot blood, not cold blood. The hot blood
yeah. Okay, thank you,
And
Professor.
also birds. We found some cases also on for those who like to rear birds in the birds. Yeah. Also.
Yeah. But I heard that it is not related to but infestation of it with in settlement of human
Yes.
settlements.
The one concern is on human dwellings because actually, for other organism like chicken, the poultry, they are more like ectoparasite that can be taken care. Like for us, when it's feed on human dwellings, then it cause this public health issues.
Yeah. Maybe you have experience with animals that we rise up in the settlement, like cats or dogs, like that.
Yeah, cats and dogs. So what I haven't heard. Mostly if cats and dogs, more on the cat flea, dog flea only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Susi. Dr. Susi is my lovely lecturer in masters in
Thank you, Nissa.
Lovely. Ya, terima kasih Bu Susi. Okay. Maybe others question, Dr. Hafiz from Aceh. I was getting bite by T-Mac a week ago. I've got redness, itching, and then I found just only one of T-Mac on my bed, like on the tip of my bed. The question, does it make sense if there's only one number of T-Mac that infected my bed, because I cannot find the other T-Mac on my bed after specific infection, just only one individual for sure.
Usually, from my experience, because when I did my PhD in US, my house was infested by bed bugs due to one of undergrad student like to come to our home and have a Malaysian meal every time. So usually we found only one or two bed bugs, and then my eldest daughter, now she's 14 years old, but when she was a baby that time, around 6 months, we found her cheeks was very red, and then when we inspect on the bed, we rarely found any bed bug. We only saw bed bug like crawling like 2-3 days, but when we opened the crib, we found that the because we buy a baby crib, the portable baby crib, there's like a clippers there. When we opened the clippers, all the bed bugs was lining under all the clippers. So we discard the whole thing. So sometimes you might not find the bed bug on the bedding materials because bed bug is a bed traveler, but it can travel within the room itself or within one room to your next room or to the living room. So basically they can hide somewhere, and when you sleep, then it will come out because according to study, during midnight at 12 a.m. in the morning, midnight until 3 a.m. This is the peak time where the bed bug will come, because people when sleeping, they are in deep sleep, they release a lot of carbon dioxide, so the bed bug will come out from their hiding places and feed. So basically there might be more than one bed bug. Usually they cannot leave one because they need to live in cluttering. You have to remember again, when you find a bed bug infestation, with the one that crawling, they might go for search for host, or maybe they accidentally going out somewhere. But when they rest, when they harbor in clustering. So make sure that you check every inch of the building structure. It has happened from my experience. We cannot find on the bed, but it was on the baby crib, on the portable. It's on the Velcro, and you have to open everything. There's a lot of bed bug there hidden. They haven't see, but on the bottom of the crib, there's no bed bug. Actually, it's hidden that people cannot see directly.
Dr. Hafiz, relate with the question, is there same like maybe cockroach? If we found one cockroach in the I think in afternoon, it can justify that the density over density in
It's
their
high.
nest. So
It
it's
depends.
related with
It depends also. Like cockroaches, like for me, if I found one or two cockroaches, in my house, for me, I'm still okay. But for my daughter, one or two cockroaches is like, wow, it's it's a problem. It cannot. The proper way is that you have to do a trapping to monitor. So that means from the monitor, then you can assess the level of infestation. Because even like cockroaches, they also come out during nighttime, active period there during nighttime. So you better put like a trap before Maghrib at during the evening, and then tomorrow morning and check the level of cockroaches have been trapped. Then from there, you can assess the diversity or the level of infestation. Just by one or two cockroaches, you cannot indicate also. Same as a bed bug also. One bed bug doesn't mean that there's no bed bug in the area. Because again, like bed bug, when they rest, they hibernate in the clustering. That's why monitoring is important before you make a conclusion to assess the level of infestation. Same as cockroaches. So we put a monitoring, and then we monitor for 1 night or 2 nights to see the level of infestation. Then from there,
So
you can assess. Yeah.
If we found just only one bed bug, it means that you must monitor or check all
Yes,
of
you must check.
things.
This is from my experience. One bed bug I found in the sofa. After 1 month, there's a lot of bed bug in the bedroom, and then after that on my baby crib, on the crib.
Okay. So one bed bug is a warning sign.
Yes, it's a warning sign. It's a warning sign. Because where the bed bug come, accidentally you bring somewhere, maybe you travel from somewhere and then you put your luggage. Maybe it can be like that. It can be like that. But that means you travel from somewhere. So that's why the one asked question also. You have to check. Maybe you travel somewhere, you have your luggage at the place where there are highly bed bug infestation, and then suddenly you come back home and you put your luggage. And then the bed bug just start to crawl away from your luggage to enter some other harbor site at your home. It can be that also.
Okay. Mrs. Acha gave a feedback. She will do inspection as soon as possible.
Yeah. Just just come from traveling. Just check the luggage or the clothing. Better to wash away or dry cleaning or something like that.
Okay. To other participants, if you are difficult to ask with English language, you can try in a bahasa, it's okay. Or you say in bahasa, I think Dr. Hafiz can understand our language.
Bisa, boleh.
Okay. And about the bed bugs, my students have experience about their study in one of village in Purbalingga. They a lot of bed bug in a household, and in the result, he found that the knowledge of the community is a good, but the practice is a poor. So how in your opinion, Dr. Hafiz, how to improve their practice to control bed bug in communities? Because in Indonesia, I think in villages area or in the village population and community, there are still a lot of presence of bed bug between in urban, I think. So how can we encourage community to can prevent or control this?
First thing, I think public awareness is very important. I think for bed bug infestation, I think public awareness is not that high compared to other public health insects like mosquito. And also some people, they don't really care about bed bug because doesn't bring a disease unless you have a skin infection due to the bite and so on. So again, we can do like a roadshow, like a program, like community-based program to induce this is bed bug, this is how it look like. Some people get confused. Even like you mentioned earlier, in Indonesia, people call bed bug with a lot of names, kutu busuk, and then many names, right? So people might get confused with different names. Even in Malaysia, when we bring a bed bug sample, said what's this? They don't even know this is bed bug. And also when we ask for bed bug sample, and we ask for public, is there any bed bug? They say they have bed bug, but when we go to their home, it's not bed bug. It's a small other insects, small beetles they found in the premises, but it's not bed bug. So people get confused. And then one thing is that cluttering. Maybe we have to educate that because bed bug doesn't care. Either the house is clean, dirty, and so on. But the important for it is cluttering level. When it's less cluttering, it's better to manage. When there's a lot of cluttering, many stuff, many furnitures, you provide harborage for the bed bug to sleep, to rest, and also even to reproductive in the area. So we can give some awareness and so on. So maybe some program, if they have a mattress that have bed bug infestation, maybe you can introduce that exchange with new mattress, something like that. So in same time do a program to educate it, because it depends on the community. Compared to urban, people more literate, more know about bed bug, but in kampung, people don't much know, even though they have a bed bug. And also depend on the level of the cluttering in the area also.
Good, Dr. Hafiz. Okay, maybe this is any question from, it's a lot of questions. Mrs. Elvira, maybe you can raise your hand and you can ask live. Or maybe this is Mrs. Elvira from Rentokil, Indonesia, Doctor. After we doing the intensive treatment of bed bug, long it is, and so on.
Okay, so, I got it. So usually it depends. A lot of cases, because it's quite challenging to do bed bug treatment. It depends on level of infestation. For example, like the one that the video I showed, the one from the flat, that one is too high. One day treatment, for example, you treat today, it will not take care of it for sure, because it's so many, and the cluttering level is so many. You have to get rid of the old pillow, you have to remove the blanket, the whole thing, the newspaper that's stamped on the area, the old books and so on, you have to clean up. So usually you have to do like monthly inspection. Like for me, as a researcher, when we do a field research work on testing a product and so on, usually we do it today, and then after 2 weeks we'll inspect every 2 weeks until up to 3 months. 3 months. So after that, after 3 months, then we can do like by monthly inspection until up to 6 months. And after that, you can continue after 6 months for 3 months. For 3 months until up to 1 year. So after 1 year, you can do 6 months. So that means after 1 year and a half, if there's no bed bug, you can declare there are no bed bug. But again, you need to do a continual monitoring, because bed bug is quite tedious to control compared to other insects. If it's high level infestation and also high level of cluttering, so that's a concern also. So usually, from my experience, and also from PCO in Malaysia, a one-time treatment doesn't take care of the infestation. Usually take 2 or more of infestation, depend on the level. But if it's just a small infestation, then it can be taken care. Maybe just 2 times treatment.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Hafiz. And then this is from Dendi Apriya. So in a bahasa is okay, Dr. Hafiz?
Satu atau 2 ekor saja bed bug, namun ketika cek, so diterima koloni maupun telur tak berapa pun tidak ada koloni. Ya, kalau kemungkinan jumpa 1 atau 2 bed bug, kemungkinan dibawa secara tidak sengaja bila pergi melancong dan pulang ke rumah. Tapi kena berhati-hati. Kadang-kadang daripada pengalaman saya, selepas jumpa 2-3 ekor, lepas 1 bulan baru nampak banyak ekornya bed bug. Jadi mungkin perlu berhati-hati untuk 2-3 bulan siasa periksa, dan juga pastikan pakaian-pakaian yang kotornya dibasuh selalu dan dicuci lah.
Okay. Relate to the question, in our country is viral about the thrift
store.
Thrift.
Second hand.
It is it can be correlated with the
if it's a secondary thrift store, like in when I did my PhD in US, I like to buy clothing, winter clothing at the thrift store, and because but importantly in thrift store usually they wash they wash properly and they do heat washing. So I think should be no issue. But when you purchase it, just make sure you check. Usually for people who are in the business on the second-hand clothing, like in Malaysia, so we have the second-hand clothing called bundle. Usually they wash it properly. They wash in detergent and then they put in the dryer machine. It can kill all the eggs and larvae because some of this bundle or the second-hand clothing, they are branded. I think should be no issue. Just make sure that wash it properly, not just people donate after 1 week, and then bed bug can stay alive for quite some time without the blood meal. So people donate, you don't wash and you sell, then that will be a problem. But you need to wash it. But if you buy just to be like to be like a peaceful mind, if you buy a secondary clothing or secondhand, then you bring back and wash with soap and hot water. Yeah, just to be precaution.
Yeah. Okay. This is maybe the last question from Mr. Ratmo. How to control bed bugs that who resistant?
Okay. For bed bug that have resistant issue, then it's time to change different AI. So sometimes people change the brand without looking the AI. Actually, when they buy one brand to another brand, actually it's the same active ingredient. It's just the manufacturer name are different. Jenama berbeza. Tapi kandungan racunnya sama. Jadi perlu tahu apa AI yang diguna pakai. Kemudian tukar yang lebih baik lah ataupun yang jenis lain.
Jadi bukan hanya mengganti mereknya saja ya.
Ya.
Kandungan
AI dia.
insektisidanya yang diganti. Oke. Baik, dari peserta Bapak Ibu, apakah masih ada pertanyaan mungkin? Baik, sorry dokter, because the time is over. So it is a great discussion for me. I honestly I never directly to study about bed bug.
I think you can continue your PhD in bed bug in Indonesia. I only found only one literature from Indonesia on bed bug so far.
Dr. Susi is the one of the focus with bed bug, and I know Mrs. Elvira, the Rentokil, the master's thesis about bed bugs. I never learned and studying about bed bug.
Maybe we can further on the genetics of opportunity of bed bug and then dispersal pattern and then some of the resistant issue of bed bug in Indonesia, because Indonesia is a big, right? There's so many island you can go and collect.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz. But not that long, I want to you give a conclusion on or any closing statement to this agenda. So, Dr. Hafiz, you can give the closing statement maybe.
Okay, thank you again, Ms. Nina, and also Faculty of Public Health at Universitas Diponegoro. So again, managing bed bug is not an managing bed bug is a thorough process. It's a thorough process. That means that one-time treatment will not control the whole thing. Importantly is that in managing any insects as a pest or even insects that are important to public health, important is need to understand the biology, the ecology, and the behavior. So without understanding the biology and the behavior, it's quite challenging to control because you need to understand its behavior. And then also importantly is that you need to, when you do a control strategy, you need to implement the integrated pest management. That means that you have to monitor the level of infestation, and then also do some physical approach, and then also the tidiness of the home. That means not much cluttering level. The reduce the better. You can use the physical approach like using the vacuum, the heat treatment, and then if you are frequent travelers, you can purchase the bed sheet cover to protect. And then importantly is that if you have a bed bug infestation from somewhere that you travel, make sure that you change your new clothes clean before you go back home, and make sure that you hot dry and also hot wash the clothing. I think that's all, and I would like to thank everyone. Hopefully it will benefit all of you, and also to the department and also to the PCO, and also some sharing on the background on the importance of the public health. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz. It's a lot of insight that we have today, and then maybe the next time we can share a lot and share about others entomologists knowledge. So thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz, and for the all participants, maybe I say thank you and sorry if any mistakes that I moderate this session, and see you in the next agenda, and we move to the Karen's as Master of Ceremony. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Ditunggu dulu ya, Dr. Hafiz.
Iya, baik.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Hafiz, for amazing talk, and also thank you to Mrs. Nissa for moderating us. As of appreciation, we have a certificate for our speaker and moderator today. I would like to invite Dr. Abdul Hafiz to take a picture with the certificate. For the committee in response, please take a screenshot, and I will help to count in 3. All right, I will count 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, Dr. Abdul Hafiz.
You're welcome.
Next, I'd like to invite Mrs. Nissa to take a picture with the certificate of appreciation. For the committee in response, please take a screenshot, and I will help to count in 3. Okay, I'll start. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Nissa. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Hafiz and Mrs. Nissa, for the insightful session. Wow, I don't believe we're already at the end of this online session. But before we wrap this up, I would remind to all of participants to fill the attendance form to get a certificate of this event. You can check the attendance link in the chat box. So while waiting for the other participants to fill in the link, now we're going to announce the best online participants. All right. And the first best online participant goes to, congratulations to Aviv. And the second best online participant goes to, congratulations to Susi Sofiana. And the third best online participant goes to, congratulations to Acha. All right, the 3 of you may redeem the prize by contacting Atika as a committee. The phone number is available in the chat box. Okay, everyone, before this event is genuinely end, let's pray together. Prayer begin. Prayer end. Once again, I would like to thank all of our participants who have joined us and have been active today. I'm Karen Glory, the Master of Ceremonies for today, would like to apologize if there were any misspoken things from us during the event. Thank you everyone and see you next time. Have a great day all. Bye.
Thank you. Terima kasih, Miss Tina.
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe someday you can come to my faculty.
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Maybe next year I can stop by.
Yeah.
Invitation.
We can arrange. Arrange.
Yeah. Terima kasih, Bu Martini.
Our plan. Yeah. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Better to have hands on.
Yeah.
Okay, terima kasih ya.
Terima kasih, Dr.
Jumpa lagi.
See you.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, moderator.
Thank you, Dr.
Mama told me that nowadays everything is in our hands. Food, money, and even health facilities. But why are there still many children who can't get their needs in their hands?
Mama also told me that we can always know today's weather just phone or smartphone. But why everything is getting more uncertain? Are all these advanced technologies useless?
Mama told me that I have to use water wisely because there are still people who are struggle to get it. I want to help them. I hope I can change everything if I study hard now. But will it really be different in the future?
Universitas Diponegoro is one of the leading universities committed to developing a green and sustainable campus in Indonesia. In a broader vision, we also committed to being part of the world to accelerate in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in 2030. And here is a small example of what we do.
We established the SDG Center that serves as a focal point to redefine, sharpen, and continuously increase the university's effort and commitment to environmental sustainability and development. We built our campus infrastructure with green and sustainable concept, with smart buildings and green open space here and there, as well as promoting a sustainable way of living. We have included the SDGs knowledge in the relevant courses in every study program. We also encourage all the units to extend the relevancy of the SDGs not only for the formal education or teaching, but also in the other academic activities.
We invested almost 82 billion Indonesian rupiah
for research, including research on COVID-19, health technology, sustainable farming, renewable energy, to gender equity and culture preservation.
We invested more than 19 billion Indonesian rupiah
to support more than 200 programs conducted by students and faculty staff on community development all over Indonesia. In 2021, we joined the SDSN network, which is a global network to promote practical solutions for sustainable development. We also joined hands with many state and non-state actors for escalating the impact and the outcome of the sustainable development programs. We initially promote the sustainable concept in various platforms. We want to create future generation that think in sustainable concept for better future for all.
And there is no one left behind.
Join us here at Universitas Diponegoro to create a better for all right now and in the future. Act responsibly, think sustainably.
Terima kasih Karen, terima kasih Tika, terima kasih Bumar.
Terima kasih kembali, Bu.
Oke, nanti untuk
Terima kasih kembali, Bu.
sama-sama. Tika nanti yang apa hadiahnya nanti saya nanti koordinasi juga sama Bu Mar ya. Ini masih saya kondisikan dulu. Oke.
Baik, Bu.
Bu Mar, terima kasih. Ini saya live itu ya. Saya end. Terima kasih. Selamat istirahat, selamat makan siang. Maaf sudah ngerepotin Sabtunya. Jangan kapok. Oke.